Hello, welcome to DK Bold Chat. Today, when I finish painting, well, especially notice the flowers because I'm going to be doing shadow on these, so it's going to look like this when I'm done today. So stick around and I can paint this with you. I've got on my palette, let me scoot this over a little bit. I've got ultramarine and burnt umber on my palette. I'm going to mix those two together to make a nice shadow color. It's almost a black. That's one of my favorite ones that I mix up is that burnt umber and ultramarine. And I am going to add a little bit of fat medium to it. There we are. I'm gonna make this nice and thin. Now, typically I will make sure that the medium is less than the paint itself. So that's what your goal is. You don't want to have more medium than the paint. So it's kind of a black color. And yeah, there we go. I got it. With the burnt umber and ultramarine, I'm going to add a little bit of quinacridone magenta. So it's a really dark purple color, kind of. And I'm going to do this again with a thinner version of it. Just put a little bit there, and then I'm going to push that around with my 20-0 round brush. So what I put it on with was a 5-0, and the 20-0 round brush is going to help me push this paint around and make a nice shadow there. Now the paint behind it is dry, and I don't want it to be purple, so I'm going to keep fading it out with this brush. And the paint colors I listed off, the burnt umber ultramarine and the quinacridone magenta, they're all Gamblin paint. Pushing that around with another brush, and this one's a 0, I believe. A 0 round. So I'm seeing like a line here. I don't want that line, but I want it to be shadow. So I'm going to go back into the paint after I take a Q-tip and take it off. There shouldn't be a line there. And I don't want to get the color that I had for the petal and mix that up, because right now if I do that, it's going to make mud. So I want to stay with the dark color that I'm working with. Oh, and this is my blender brush. Let me get that. Doing this again. There we are. I'm going to push that paint around with this little blender brush. The difference between this and the color of the bloom itself, it should be a little bit more dull, and I can dull this out with a little bit of green, or I can blacken it a little bit, and I'm going to try chromatic black and do that just a little bit. I don't need much. And there's also shadow on this side. I think the sun's pretty much overhead for this plant right now. And I mean, not right now, but in this picture. Okay, I'm going to blend that out with my little round brush that I shared earlier. And I may have to come back with the pink color again on the front of it, but I want to get this to be darker than it is. Otherwise, I'm just about done with this painting. I'm just about done. So I'm looking forward to the next painting. What will it be, you might say? That remains to be seen. Okay, that's plenty of shadow on that one. And then there's shadow on the stem of, well, it's on one that's not even in the picture, so it's fine. I don't have to worry about that. And I'm going to put a little bit more shadow at the base here with this chromatic black and burnt umber and ultramarine. There we are. Yes, I'm really glad you're here with me. I'm coming outside the lines. I don't want to come outside the lines. Let me get that little bit of a line. There we are. And I'll blend that. Well, it's going to not blend with what's there. It's going to actually fade it out is what it's going to do. All right. Back we go. Okay, use the oil. There's a little bit on the back petal here. I'm going to do that as well. And you don't really see the definition, like the highlight color. You don't see the lighter color on this petal. It's just mostly dark. So I'm going to move that around with a little 20 blender brush for me. It's called a round. And this is dark all the way to the tip. We'll move it on up. And same with this. Is it all the way? Yeah, it's pretty much to the top. I think the side of it's brighter, but we'll get to that. So this is layers of darker color to make the depth in the painting. And that one's in front, so this one's not. Let's get a little bit of layers of that and this one as well. And this is the blender brush. I'm going to blend it with this one. The 20. It's not really a blender brush, but it works well for blending. If you don't have the dark, so the shadows are the dark, if you don't have that in your painting and you are not planning to put that in there, it's going to be difficult to have depth in your painting. You need to have the dark to show the light. I've said it before, just like in life. The light shows the dark shows the light. If we didn't have the dark, we wouldn't see the light. It would all be the same. There we go. Much better. Let's get that wiped off, and then there's these little guys at the bottom, they're a little bit darker, so I'm going to put a little bit on the base of that, or underneath it, where the shadow's hitting it. I don't need it to all be purple. Although I like purple. Blend that. There's a little bit of dark. Those are done. This guy's off in the background, but there we are. And this one needs a little bit of shadow underneath it, I think, to line up with everything else. Got to get that line sharp. A little bit where it bends too. And then this guy is a little darker, but not much. So I don't need very much on there. We blend that out. I'm scrubbing it in. And this one's going to have a little bit of blending. It's going to need a little, well, I call it blending, but it's actually, I'm fading it out, making it less than what it was. There we are. And this one's going to need a little help in here. Some definition of where there's probably one coming towards me. Maybe I can make that one coming towards me. Get the long brush. And blend it. added some white to the pink, and I'm going to tread softly where I just put the darker color. I don't want to have a, I don't want to even say it. I don't want to have any issues, so. I think I've shared before, it's really good to be thinking positive thoughts when you're painting. That's where I start by sharing well, I haven't shared the Bible verse yet, but I'm gonna. But yeah, just keep your mind on the positive track. You don't want to think about negative when you're painting. You want to think about what's good. And that's from the Bible. Bring that down a little bit. Okay, I've got this color here. I'm going to put also on this leaf. I did right there, but I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Because it is a shadow color. It is not a separate thing. It's not get you over there. Okay, and then this guy, I'm going to get your line a little bit sharper. I'm going to get the edge of this one. And this one's all dark, so we're going to leave it dark, but I think I might add a little bit of the pink color to it. Let me see. First, I'm going to put this guy in. This little petal. That's right, I put the front one in. I need to add that. I need to correct this again. In fact, you know what? In life, I think, don't let yourself think negative stuff. If negative stuff is happening, it's in the world, and the Bible is an excellent source to contradict anything negative happening. And focus your mind in the right area. What you focus on will get bigger. You want to focus on the good. And if you say, well, I don't have any good, you know what? That's something you're going to have to work through as far as like really looking at your life and changing it if it needs to be changed to have good, you know, in your life. My views have changed so much since I was younger. I mean, over the years, my views have changed. I don't allow myself to think negative, and I've shared that before on here. Because the more, if I was to think negatively, I would be, I'm blending this line. Get that smaller blender. Has a little bit of the dark on it, but not too much. Going right between the two lines. So it doesn't look like I outlined the work. But yeah, you want to steer clear of negative thinking. It's not going to get you anywhere. If you want to go places and you want to do things, you got to focus on the positive things happening in your life, and it will be so much easier to do that. I'm so thankful. Today I'm painting. I'm very thankful for that. I try to paint every day, but recently I injured my hand, and because I was doing something else, and yeah, I ended up taking a few days off of painting, and I'm so thankful to be back at it. And I'm able to write again, so this is all good. It's all good stuff. I praise God for it. We don't know where this petal starts out or ends. I'll just blend that line a little bit. Okay. I've still got the dark color. I've still got the light color. I'm going to mix some of it together and make mud. I'm going to see what color comes out. So I've got the darker, the burnt umber and ultramarine, and I've got the lighter, and I've got right here my words too. I have to be careful of my words, but it did turn into mud, so it's not going to again, because I won't do that again. I'm seeing the canvas through it on this canvas. I'm seeing the little pieces of canvas, and I don't know that that's a problem yet. I'm looking to see if there's anywhere else I need to put the highlight. So I have a Bible verse. It is Isaiah 54:17. It says, "No weapon that is fashioned against me shall succeed, and I shall refute every tongue that rises against me in judgment. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord, and their vindication is from me, declares the Lord." That really helps me if I have any issues, or somebody's like coming at me and something's going, not going good. I'm changing up to a number 4 brush. There we are. And I'm going to blend that out, because the Bible says vindication is the Lord's, not ours. It's not ours to take vindication on anything, no matter what happened. Doesn't matter what happened. I believe that. And yeah, if you read Psalm, is it 36? It talks more about that. But this is a verse for today, which was Isaiah 54:17. Yeah, I think I'm almost done here with the blending of this color. I've made a little bit of mud here and there, but not too much. And I have probably to do one more layer to get rid of the little bumps of color on there, or I could delicately put it in if I have that exact color, which I can make that. Let's see if I can make it. Gotta make that color. Also, I don't know that I've shared it before, but when I'm mixing color, I typically think about the color that I'm making, and it's easier for me to mix it. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of darker in there just to cover up the spots that are lighter on this from blending. And again, I could come in later and do it on this. But yeah, I think this painting is done. I just have to let it dry, and then I can varnish it. I'll use is it Gambar? Yeah, the paint's Gamblin. This is, and then Gambar's the varnish. Okay. I'm gonna do one more blending and then we're gonna call her done for today. I'm so glad you joined me today. Please subscribe to DK Full Chat. And if you want to leave a positive comment, please do. If you're painting with me, I would love to hear from you. I've had a couple comments that have been really nice, that people are painting with me and learning so much, and I really enjoy reading that because it just makes it so that I want to do this even more, you know? So I appreciate the positive comments. So this guy right here might need a little bit of work in the future, but I'll take care of that. Well, I mean, how would I make it be more? This is the actual, I need to put some coming down like that. I'll do that. This is the blender, but I'm gonna put it in with that. And blend it out, clean up the brush, blend it out. And this one's got a little bit of, it's got too much of a line. Blend it out with the blender right here. All right. I just need to blend that line between the two with the little blender brush. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Please subscribe to DK Full Chat, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless you.